Hi there, how are you doing? Don't know what that intro was. I've realised I kind of matched this box ever so slightly. I stole my dad's jacket because it's very cold, so it's very big and most definitely doesn't fit, but I'm going to wear it anyway because it's cold. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to attempt to redesign this craziness of a box. I was shopping before Christmas now actually, and I came across this, and in a sea of very loud branding, this one just kind of stood out, and I decided to redesign it. If you've not seen my previous videos, design videos, I'll leave them linked on screen and in the description, and you can go check those out. But I am always heavily inspired by Kel Lauren. I will also link her in the description. This is definitely where I get my inspiration from mainly, so go and check her out, she's amazing. I thought today I'm going to redesign this thing. I haven't eaten them actually. I think I used to eat these when I was younger, but I noticed that a lot of other brands seem to have gone to more of a stripped back design kind of theme. There's less sort of dimension in the design elements, I guess. I will say I'm not formally trained in graphic design, so a lot of this I've taught myself or just picked up. So yeah, it's all kind of personal preference. If you don't like the design I come up with, so be it. But this is just how I'd tackle something like this. So we're going to give it a go. I've saved a couple of ideas on a Pinterest board, which I have on my second screen in front of me. And I've also got an array of Weetos packages too. So we're gonna give it a go, and I'm most definitely going to treat myself to a bowl of this later. Who else likes eating cereal in the middle of the night? Do you like midnight when you're still working? That is the perfect time for some cereal. I'm going to put it down here. Can you still see it? That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Okie doke, let's get comfortable. So on my screen, I have a blank Illustrator file, and I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens. I'm using my Wacom tablet. I will leave it linked in the description. I have my little trackpad mouse thing here, and ideally I would like a keyboard here, but I don't have enough USB slots. So I'm going to order myself a little hub thing. I'm working in such a professional environment already, aren't I? So what I've done is I've taken a Weetos design thing. It's not the exact one that I have, but it's similar, and I picked out the colours. So these colours on the left are the main colours that are in that design, and then the colours on the right are the ones I kind of want to play around with for my design. So yeah, I've not even sketched any ideas out for this. I'm just going to give it a go, see what happens. It might turn out rubbish, but you gotta try, haven't you? Trial and error. So I feel like the first thing I need to do, for one, I need this in front of my face. Let's put it here. Obviously the main thing is the logo, so we're going to play around with some logo ideas. Now if I were designing this for real, I would spend a lot longer on this, but for the principle of this video, I'm just going to give it a quick little go. So for logos, I'll have a scroll down the ones I already have, or I will go onto Adobe Typekit and have a look at the ones they have over there. I want something still big and chunky, still quite similar to the existing design. However, I want it to look not necessarily more grown up, but a little bit sleeker, a bit more modern, I'd say. This one is quite cool. I really like this font. I find myself going back to this font a lot. So maybe with this, we just need to change it to a capital letter. I want to change the tracking of it. Just reduce the tracking a little bit. So we've changed the tracking. Do you know what? I quite like this. I'm going to create some outlines. And just soften it a little bit. So type, create outlines, and then go in and sort of soften them slightly. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do that with all of them. And then I suppose, so obviously they're using the O of Weetos as the actual cereal itself. I noticed on a lot of the more graphical sort of packaging, they always had an image of the actual cereal on the box, whereas different brands like Kellogg's, I noticed, were using more traditional methods, like more flat based images. So I feel like it's not 100% necessary to actually have the product itself on the front, but we'll figure it out. So maybe later on the line I could just change this colour so that one letter is a different colour, but I'll get to that once I do the other design. So for the fill, I want to do a gradient, so I want to keep it in touch with the actual initial branding. I'm going to do the gradient and then we'll warp it and see sort of what that looks like. So just gradient down here. So we want this colour and this colour. I've chosen sort of softer colours this time, so the ones on the left are the originals, and I've kind of gone more of like a pastel vibe, and I think I'm going to do more orange than yellow, so it still stands out quite strong. Also want the angle to be at, I think it'll be 90 degrees, yeah, from top to bottom. Cool, so we have that. It also has a bit of an outline on it, so I'm going to just see what that looks like, and I'm going to use the darker brown shade down here. So we'll go to stroke, add the outline a little bit, and then just change it to the dark brown that I picked up earlier. Cool, I quite like that. So let's warp it. So object, envelope, distort, warp, and it's already on the one that I'd like. We can play around with sort of the angle of the warp. To be honest, I quite liked how it started. I feel like that looks quite cool. It's sort of a nod to the original one without it being so in your face, let's say. All right, we're not going to spend too much time on that, so we'll leave that like that for now, and let's just sort of play around with the background. So I'm thinking currently it's in the middle, and then there's a big label at the top that says Big Family Pack. I'm just going to ignore that. We're just going to pretend this is a regular box. I quite like that it's in the middle, so maybe if I actually fully align it in the middle, align it to artboard, and then align it this way, so that is directly in the middle. We're going to offset it a little bit, I think. Then for the colours, let's see if these colours that I decided on before we even started making this actually work. So I'm just gonna draw a rectangle and fill it with, I think, the middle shade. Send that to the back. And then I'm thinking, again, I want to use the sort of donut hoop shape in this design, but I want to make it a little more basic, I guess, and then I want to use some sort of graphical movements in a more simple way. Did that make any sense? Probably not. I'm going to put the logo over here for a second. Now I can see it on this box. I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with it, but yeah, right. We're going to go with the lighter coloured box, I think, and then I'm going to use this colour here for the circle. So I'm just going to use an ellipse tool, and I'm going to sort of offset it over here. Let's put it in the right colour. Sort of offset it, and then maybe put this here. I don't love that font, you know. I think because I used the gradient like it used to be, it's still swaying towards being its old design. So I'm probably going to end up changing that, but we'll just leave it as is for now. And we're going to copy and paste that circle and make another one like that. Maybe make that inner circle a little bit smaller. And then I'm thinking, now I definitely don't like this. You need to go similar. I'm going to mix it up completely. This is definitely not what they'd ever do because it is too different, but we're going to do that for now. I want it to look different. That's the whole point in this video. Right, so we're back to the colour selection. I think my problem is the gradient, so we're gonna take it back to a flat colour. I need like a complementary shade to this orange, so I'm gonna go into Adobe Adobe Colour, and we're gonna see if we can find a brown sort of shade. Quite like this combo. That's a nice combo. Right, so we've got that combo of colours. I'm gonna totally go back to the drawing board here. So let's use a lighter shade on the background, and let's get rid of that outline. And we're gonna do some sort of like smooth shapes. I'm gonna move this weird donut thing over here. I'm gonna go with my first instinct, you know. I think initially I was overthinking it, so to sort of replicate milk splashes, I guess. Let's put the donut thing, I don't know why I'm calling it a donut, it's clearly a cereal. The donut thing in the dark colour. And we'll just give these a little rejig. Do I want to warp this text? Let's just copy it in case I instantly regret it. Let's see. Camera died and I've had some time to think about things. I don't like this. I don't like it. I like this orange shade against this background colour, whatever you want to call that. Don't know, made it up. Is it this colour? Basically. And I want to sort of make this sort of like milk drips. So what I'm going to do is do a little quick... We can play around with the shape of that later on. Then I want it to be dark on the bottom. So we're just going to delete that first one. In fact, we'll delete them both. And then the next level, again, sort of like this. I want you to be the darker shade. And then this middle bit here, we're just going to fill in. I'm saying this out loud whilst trying to convince myself this is going to work. Cool, I'm enjoying this a lot more. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to incorporate the donut that's not a donut yet, but I want to include chocolate hoops in there, and we'll probably warp that too. I'm going to put that in the dark brown shade. And then we will object, envelope distort, make with warp, and I think it needs warping a tiny bit more. Trying to work out what on earth to do with this thing. Like, am I going to use it? I think I want to try like like chocolatey shaped, maybe teardrops? Is that the word? I don't know. Alright, we've got a couple of little accents. Again, not 100% sure I'll keep them. This is my problem. I'm such an indecisive person. I just can't stick to one idea. I feel like I definitely must have been my tutor's like most annoying student ever, because I used to go back and change things when I was at uni, and he was just like, it was good before, why did you change it? And I just didn't like it. Just kept changing it. I don't like these. I start these things and then wonder why, because I wind myself up. I do enjoy these little circles I've decided to put on. These are quite cool. I want to put like the nutritional information here. Wait, have I just had a amazing idea. Let's do type on a path tool, make a circle, type on a path, like that. We need high in fiber, but you also need to be on the other side over here and a bit bigger. We're going to keep you in that font because it's the same as the other font. We're gonna change the size and change the colour to white for now. I'm on the right lines. I don't think I like the placement of it, so maybe let's keep them to the left. I feel like we're getting somewhere. Where? I am not sure, but it's somewhere. That is the main thing. I like my idea, but I can't work out how to execute it. Let's just copy these over here. I want to try something else. I think I'm happy, which is a bold statement because I changed my mind a lot. But for now, I actually really like how this has turned out. So I decided, as you saw, to sort of add some little circles and stuff. So it's still quite vibrant and interesting, but still is a flat image in a way, like without any shadows or anything. There's nothing too distracting on there. So yeah, I suppose it's just, I keep playing around with these little chocolate O's. Ooh, and I also put an O in the O of Weetos. How many times in one sentence can I say O? But yeah, I thought adding that to the logo looked quite cool. I've kept it to just the two colour waves, I guess, so orange and brown. I sort of want to involve the yellow, but I can't really work out where to do it. Maybe the font. That looks quite cool. Other than that, I can't really work out where it would look alright adding the yellow without making it too busy. So when you see it, it's not too messy, pretty simple. You know what? We're going to leave it as is. I'm such a fiddler. I'm going to save this and I'm going to put it into a mock-up quickly. Yay! There we go. Oh my god, I actually really like that. I've not really lined up these bits very well. You get the idea. I actually really like that. So I'm going to put on screen now a little comparison before and after. You can see on there my version and the old version. I quite like that. I think it's quite different, something new, and brings a different angle to the whole brand. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching for this long. I know it'll have ended up being such a long video. But if you do like videos like this, and if you have got this far, please do press subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers this year on this channel. So yeah, I'd really love it if you join the family. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you next time for another one. Bye.